Hello, it's Tamara Hunter, and today is number 53 of 365 Days of Awesome. Celebrate success through service. And I am so excited to have Ellie, the mommy master, on as our service hero. Let me tell you why. Um, for those of you that are following, yesterday I actually highlighted service within a family, and I have highlighted some others that have the mommy message, if you will, because I was a single mom. I was a single mom for much of the time with my kids, of four children, and so anyone that has an amazing mommy message is someone that to me is just out there serving such a really big cause. So welcome, Ellie.
So much for having me.
I love, we met back a little while ago in Florida, and I just remember you getting up and performing magic. I mean, when you speak, it is just so much fun. And I think I'm not the only one that believes like that, right? I mean, don't you have some
fun? You have to love what you do and do what you love. And I'm very passionate about helping families.
That's wonderful. Right. Because your whole message is not just for mommies.
No.
It is actually a family message, isn't it?
Absolutely. So I'm Ellie, the Mommy Master, and my company's name is Parent You Up by Mommy Masters. And what we're doing is really cracking the code when it comes to families, parenting, business, and personal success. The truth is that, you talked about having fun, and not enough parents are having fun with their kids. You get one chance. The journey goes by so quickly. So we are delivering evidence-based behavior modification tools through humor and philanthropy, and really becoming a village. Whether you are married or a single parent, we don't always have that village to really express ourselves. And we are giving parents a different perspective, and we are that village. And we're 24/7, which is pretty cool. So we offer a 24/7 subscription program because parenting is 24/7, so are we. And along with myself, we have 8 other experts, and we are helping parents enjoy the journey and delivering tips, tricks, and tools 24/7, whether it's email, phone calls, FaceTime, Skype, or if it makes sense, in person. And we are actually having parents report in less than 6 days. It's a life changer. When I have a mom or a dad say to me, "You have literally changed my life," it validates. And it's not about being perfect, right? There's no such thing as a perfect parent or the perfect child. That's not our goal. One day you might be a mommy master, and another day you may be a daddy disaster. So it's about today, right now. So, and it's not really about balance either, because if you look at a seesaw, when it's balanced, it is not fun. If we think about ourselves or our kids when we were younger, the seesaw works like this. And so if you have 2 kids with equal weight, that's very rare. So why should we look at life as equal weight? You have your family, work, or yourself, or whatever it is that you're working on at the time. Why should it be balanced? It doesn't work. So just figure out at the time. It's more like integration. So we help with work-life integration. I love working with mompreneurs, dadpreneurs, small business owners. 63% of small business owners are parents. And guess what? If you feel in your work life that you're supported and you got this and you're running this business and you're confident, you're going to go home. And when your child spills that glass of milk, instead of getting all upset about it, literally crying over spilt milk, you're going to say, buddy, it's okay, but let's be careful. Let's not do it again.
Right.
Now, if you feel that way, you might come home and start screaming about it. Now, the other, flip the switch. If you're a parent and you feel like, I got this, I'm confident today, I'm doing the best that I can do today, you're going to then go to work and feel supported, and you're going to be more productive. So it's that work-life integration. But it's about making parents feel comfortable and presenting a different perspective to them. Like, let's laugh. Fun. Act like a fool. It doesn't matter. Your kids will love you for who you are, and just be the best you can be today. Don't worry about failing, because that's what, if you don't have a bad day, you don't know what a good day is.
So true. I want to recognize some of the people that are on right now with us. We've got Christina, we've got Sharon, we've got Vince. Vince is saying awesome, and Sharon's just like yes, 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 and we're getting hearts. We're a lot of really wonderful feedback right now. I love what you're saying about the work life balance, because isn't that what we all are trying to do? And in truth, I know that your message is about families, but families don't always have to include just this, if you will, be a family with small children.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is a message that your message is one that if you were in front of a lot of different people and they're like, well, this doesn't include me because I don't have anybody that's small, but it work-life balance, actually that includes everybody, the self-employed, the struggling actor and painter, those that are professionals, right?
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, we work with parents who have kids that are either in the womb all the way up to college and beyond, because sometimes the hardest years are those teen years. So it's not just about little kids. It really runs the gamut. We have clients with kids that are 1 and clients with kids that are 25. So it really runs the gamut. And that's why people love what we do, because, I like to call myself your new best friend. So I don't
Okay.
judge. We have no judgments when we talk. Everything is completely confidential. And I'm available 24/7. And while you might have a friend or a spouse, sometimes we feel judged even by ourselves. So we are helping you build
Yes.
a village, and we are there for you all the time. Whether it's sending a text in the morning, you got this, you can do this, or whether somebody just is having a hard time and they want to know a different perspective. It's really about humor, and humor, people think that humor can only apply to funny situations. Not the case. I will give perfect example. So my son was having a tantrum. This was years ago. And my kids never had tantrums. I was very lucky. And so I was sort of like, okay, I have a couple choices here. I can get really annoyed, sort of maybe grab his arm and say, get in the car, everybody's watching. Or I can take 2 seconds to step back and think how my actions will affect everybody else, including my son. So, when a child has a tantrum, usually it's the parent's fault. And that's hard to hear. But, if they're having a tantrum in the supermarket, are they hungry? Did you really need to do that errand with them then? Are you in a bad mood? Maybe you had a bad day at work or a fight with your spouse. So these things you have to think about. But at the moment, what I wanted to do was put myself in a position of less frustration and really understanding what was going on. So I said to the nearest stranger, can you take care of, what's happening here? Is this your child? What's going on? Started to laugh. Not at my child, of course. We never want to embarrass the child. It was me. I wanted everyone around me to sort of drop their guard so I didn't feel judged as well. And what that allowed me to do is give my child the 4 to 6 minutes to have his tantrum, right? But then I was then calm, and I put him in the car, and within, a couple minutes of driving, it was, sorry, mommy, because I didn't play into his tantrum. I was not going to give him that negative attention, but I didn't want negative attention. So I thought, you know what, let's just try some humor. And you never know who's watching you. A mom might be watching you, a dad saying, I wonder how she's going to handle it. You are a role every day, not just to your kids, but to other parents. And so you always, a new day is a new chance to try something different. And that's why we talk about being the best you can be today. If you were a bit of a disaster, things didn't work out, that's okay. What you're actually teaching your kids is how to fix it, right? Is if they had a bad day, it's okay. Feel that frustration. You're allowed to have that emotion, but figure out what went wrong, and and that's what it's about.
I have some questions here. Sharon wants to know, okay, so this is an awesome program. Is this something that, what if you have a parent that is retired and maybe a special needs adult, adult child, one of your that you've given birth to, or of course, I have the cancer community, the buddies community, and oftentimes families come back together and you have, some interesting dynamics. Absolutely. Is this something that they could actually tap into, because you may have to go through some re-education in your older years for that kind of a family situation. Is that something that they could do?
That's a great, great question. Everybody's going to have their own family dynamics. And that's what's great about us. You can read a book on parenting, but what we're about to tell you and the journey we're going to take you through is going to be different for everybody. Your family dynamic, what you're, dealing with, who lives in your family, and all that good stuff. We are going to help you. As I mentioned earlier, we have 8 other experts aside from myself. In fact, at 11:45 the other night, I actually tapped into my experts because I was talking to a client and I wanted to get some perspective from some other people. And I delivered that message to her by 12 because we were on the phone. So for me to be able to tap into those people at that time and then deliver that message to the client, I mean, it's unheard of. So great question. Absolutely. We can help you. It's really about changing the parent's behavior. We believe that by changing a parent's behavior and giving you the tools to do so, you then change your child's behavior, the people around you. And that's really what it's all about. And sometimes it's hard to chew a little bit of, oh, me, I'm doing something wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. We're not here to tell you you're a bad parent. I would never say that to anybody because everyone has a different definition of what mastering motherhood or fatherhood means. So exactly. So, one parent might say, I want to get home in time to give my child a hug and kiss before they go to bed. Another parent might say, I have to have dinner cooked. Everyone has a different definition. So, absolutely we can help you with your specific family dynamics and tap into anybody that we need to really make you feel in control and bring joy back to your life.
That right there is so important. In fact, we have a comment from Amy that said, thank you. It was tough, when the kids were little, and it turned out that sometimes anxiety manifests itself into anger. But, when you don't know that you don't know, sometimes you just don't even know where those skills can come from. You then, and then it becomes even a family generational circle, right? Where that learned behavior because someone just didn't know or have the skills or didn't even think that there were skills out there, because you don't learn this in school.
No, there's no, obviously we all know the typical statement, there's no handbook, because the reason there's no handbook is because, again, everybody has a different definition. We all grew up differently. We all have beliefs of what we feel like, is the best way to parent. But, Amy, to your point, I will tell you, so I suffered from debilitating anxiety in my 20s. So for me, I was able to, find the ways to teach myself how to deal with anxiety. And a lot of parents, you mentioned, Tamara, anger and stuff. A lot of parents, that anxiety turns into fear, right? When we don't know what my kid's having a tantrum, what am I going to do? We get nervous because we don't have the answer. And there aren't always the right answers and solutions. It's just about a different perspective. Like with my tantrum example, many people wouldn't think to use humor. The other thing I wanted to talk about is philanthropy. And this also the older kids as well. But philanthropy is so important. Why is it important? When you teach your child empathy, how to look at other people that might be different from them, they then realize there's a story behind them. It's not just, oh, they're different. Studies show that when you teach your kids empathy, bullying goes down. So in a school situation, when a child sees somebody different than them, no matter what the difference is, it's not like, oh, they're different, they're bad. They're different. There's a story behind there, just like we all have our stories. And I can give you a bunch of examples, but there's nothing better than volunteering as a family and that feeling. You kind of drop all your own family drama and you concentrate on being a team and helping other people. And teaching that wonderful feeling of empathy will stay with them for the rest of their lives. And a lot of people have no time to volunteer, but I will tell you, we are all busy. Yes, we all have our own journeys and stuff, but you can find the time. I get what you guys are going through. I'm a mom of 3. I call myself, Tamara, a single married mother. I would never compare myself to a single mom. Different, absolutely. Kudos to all of you amazing, amazing parents out there who are single parents. So my husband's gone during the week. I had no family when I moved to, I'm from New York. I moved to Florida. So I had to quickly create my own village. We don't always have family around. We don't always have friends. I didn't know anybody. So we have to create our village. And I think it's really important to point that out, that, sometimes we just have to do the best we can. And I want to teach people my journey of what I've been through as a mom, and also what I've been through as a mompreneur, and also sharing things like with my anxiety that I can help. There are a lot of parents who have anxiety. And, unfortunately, as parents, we're selfless now. So we deal with ourselves last. But what we don't realize is unless we are happy and we feel fulfilled. And whatever that is for you, you know, exercise for me, that's my therapy. It might be different for somebody else, crafting, whatever it is that you do, writing, that's important. When you feel happy with yourself, you can then, that's why we talk about changing a parent's behavior. And I will say that right now, what we're doing on our site is we're offering a 5-day free trial. And so within those 5 days, like I mentioned before, people are saying that we're changing lives, and it's pretty awesome. And so we're not even asking for a payment, nothing. It's about introducing who we are, learning about your own family dynamics, and creating, you know, a fun way to enjoy life. Life is too short. We have so much stress, you know, like it's just, everybody has their own stressors. Our kids are stressed out. I mean, the technology today, it's a different world than what we grew up in. And so kids are older now. They're more mature than they were. My 6-year-old is not what I was when 6 years old. You have to, you know, talk about that. But being able to step outside yourself and say, okay, I have a choice here of how I can handle something. We will teach you guys those type of methods, and, you know, just talk to you and your family dynamics. And no one's doing what we're doing, and it's pretty awesome. And hopefully you can see my passion. I love being a parent. It is so frustrating at times, and you just want to like rip your hair out. And it's amazing how at 9 a.m. you could love your kids so much and be like, wow, I created this amazing thing. And by 9:15, you're like, I can't, you know? And so I get it. It's not about pretending you're like happy all the time, because you're not, it's not reality. We're not trying to say to you, here's a parenting solution. You're gonna be the best parent and happy every day. Not gonna happen, but that's okay. It's human, be real, allow yourself to fail, and have fun with your kids. Have fun. Yes, they can be a pain, but guess what? So can you, right? And delivering that message is so important. And, you know, your kids will remember that. When my child says to me, Mommy, I just want to tell you, I see all these things you do and you work so hard. And, you know, he wants to be an entrepreneur because of what I'm showing him. And so that to me is the biggest paycheck. When your son realizes the work you put into it, that'll affect their behavior, right? Because then they'll be able to say, I get it. You work your tush off and you're trying to juggle all these things, and they can then appreciate and be at your level. And so all the things I try to instill in parents, adding in their dynamics and how we can help them.
You know, in fact, Amy, she actually kind of continued the thought, and you actually hit on what I was hoping that we would share, and that is, you know, we had to learn to even forgive ourselves in that, you know, we're not going to be perfect. No parent is going to be perfect. Don't even expect perfection. And then, you know, from today on, right? And my feeling is, because I'm still alive, you know, I made it through cancer. I'm here today. Thank goodness. Okay. So I get a second chance at whatever it is, or third or fourth or fifth chance. You know, sometimes that's what we need, right? And when we're parenting, there is no magic solution, except for, you know, one thing I do believe that unconditional love is where it's at. In the end, that, you know, that can overcome so much more than anything else. I love the fact that you're also including philanthropy, that you are encouraging volunteer work and doing it as a family when possible. You know, and it doesn't take, like you said, a tremendous amount of time to make a difference. You are just an amazing woman, Ellie.
Oh, thank you so much.
And I am so proud to call you a service hero.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So now we have had some tremendous comments. We've had some sharing already of this show, that, you know, people are just thrilled with what you're doing. So how can they take you up on that offer of the 5 days, right?
Yes.
How can they do that?
Perfect. Super easy. You can go to the website, parentup.com. So it's parent, the letter U, and then up.com. And there's an area to apply. So you'd fill out a quick intake form so that when we speak to you, we have an idea of a little bit of your family dynamics. And then we call you very, very soon, within 12 hours, to really talk to you, understand what you're doing, and we get started right away. I mean, you can text me 100 times in a day, and that's okay. And that's what's great about it. I am your new best friend, and we're just gonna have fun together and make you happy.
I love it. it goes along with the whole, you're a service hero and you're a buddy.
Yes. You got
You're
that.
everything that I'm living in my little world over here. And so, thank you so very much for joining me today. And
Appreciate it.
so we have now officially closed day number 53 of 365 days of awesome. Celebrate success through service. Ellie, the mommy master, thank you for being a service hero and an example to us all of how to have some humor and fun with our families.
Thank
And
you.
remember, you are so welcome. Thank you. And remember, get out there and serve. And I love the fact that she encourages going out and serving others and doing it in a philanthropic way. So philanthropic means, if you don't know, it is like giving of yourself to like a nonprofit, a church, a shelter, anything like that, where you see that there is a need and it is an organization, and you go in there and you say, how can I help you? Really awesome. So thank you. And we will see you tomorrow, everyone. Bye.